Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm still healing up a bit from my hernia surgery, so I've been out of it and I've been having trouble focusing on some of the games I wanted to work on, so I decided to play one that's more of a kind of a breather. So instead of going to the next games that I had in line that I was thinking about, I actually played a little indie title that I found out I had in Steam. I watched a video on Internet Historian side channel, Story Mode, where they kind of summed up the whole game story. So it had me intrigued enough to go try it, and then I realized I owned it. So I figured I discovered a haunted island of Frog Detective, or Frog Detective number 1. The naming mechanics of the game gets kind of weird because they have the title of the mystery in this one and then asterisk the series, so all the other titles just go Frog Detective number 2 and then we'll get into it later. I didn't really write down a script or anything, so I'm just going to go over a few points of the game. I also don't want to spoil it in case you do want to try it yourself, since it is a nice little charming game. Basically, Frog Detective works for an agency here where he solves crimes. He's then called up by his advisor, who's a penguin, and he's called up about a mystery on an island where there's haunted ghosts. Originally, they were going to send Lobster Cop, who's evidently the best detective in this whole game universe, but he was busy. So they send Frog Detective instead. I find the background track in this game kind of relaxing and fitting to the title, and you'll hear that once you start the game, and it will play mostly in the background. The opening cutscene shows us some of the characters that we'll meet in this title. And as soon as you make it to the island, you'll most likely talk to Mystery Monkey, being that they're the first person that you can see and they're also waving at you. They'll give you a general scoop about the island, and then you can go from there. A fun little tidbit that I forgot to mention, and almost forgot to even put in this video, is that Mystery Monkey actually says that he follows Frog Detective's blog. If you go to the Frog Detective website, they actually have this blog set up along with the post that they mention in the game. I found that as a nice little touch to the game. So evidently there's some weird ghost sounds coming through all the island along with some weird holes in a blocked up cave. So the self-proclaimed king of the island seems to think that it's haunted. There's been no real evidence of this yet, so it's up to you to solve the mystery. There are a bunch of nice little things in the game, like there's little cute things hidden around, and little clever jokes sprinkled around. You'll find out relatively quickly that everybody on the ghost scientist team that was hired by the King Sloth here to find the ghosts are actually incompetent and not fit for their job, and that kind of adds to the charm of the title. A decent amount of the game is just trying to talk to everybody, find out what their needs are, and then kind of doing fetch quests between the two. This goes into some people's major gripe about the game. It's not really that deep, and it's not really that hard. I beat the game in under an hour in my first playthrough. Regardless of the length of the title, I think that its writing and charm is kind of nice. I definitely had a nice refreshing breather playing through this title, and I think that if you have any interest in it, you should give it a try. Now, some other people also complain about the price of this title. It's $5 on Steam usually. I would suggest at least putting on your wish list and wait for a sale, if you're not sold on it yet. It's also true that it doesn't really have much replay value. Once you beat it, you have the whole story in hand. So most likely the best way to replay it would be with someone else who hasn't tried it at all. I won't tell you exactly what happens once you get inside the cave and you find out what's going on, because I don't want to fully spoil it. One thing that gave me a major chuckle is when you open up the settings. All the graphical settings don't do anything but they're lyrics from the song Low, and recently I've been seeing memes for that song. So that gave me a laugh a couple times. Honestly, I don't have any real complaints about the title myself, personally. They set out to make a little charming game. Everything runs stable, I had no issues or anything, and everything runs smoothly. I definitely like a little bit of mystery titles, since Shenmue is one of my favorite titles, and Heavy Rain I also really enjoyed. This is a much more lighthearted tone thing, and some of the witty writing and jokes I do enjoy. That might not be for everybody, but I still feel like if you have some interest and you see it on sale, you should give it a try. And by the end of the story, everything does get wrapped up, and you have a nice little outro, and there's no mysteries left. Or is there? Thanks everybody for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been having some fun actually trying to do some of these things, so if you're interested, please subscribe, Like or comment, tell me what you think, tell me if you played this game and you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again with a follow-up video soon. Take care.